Hi everybody, I am Deanna Kleina with Stonehouse Realty, and today I am at Red Barn Farms for all your homesteading, chicken keeping, indoor, outdoor gardening, seed starting, and so much more. I mean, this little place has it all. And I am here with Ken and Carol, and we're going to be discussing how you guys started. I want to know more about your business. I am sure the audience would as well. How did this all start, from the humble beginnings to where and how successful you are now?
So the start of it was actually to be a nursery out at the house, and we started growing trees, set up a greenhouse, kind of getting into gardening because we weren't either really big on it prior. And yeah, we went through a little bit of transition, a few different things around the house, and then started bringing in gardening gear, indoor and outdoor growing stuff, and took a move into town in January 2020.
It's fantastic. So you basically started at home in 2014, was it? 2017. They started in the comfort of their own home, and then in 2020 you grew to this magnificent storefront right on Canyon here in Creston. So that's fantastic. And what do you have here? Talk a little bit more. I know that I spend way too much money every time I come here, because then you realize what you need. You're like, okay, I need a little bit of this. Oh my goodness, and I need this, and I forgot this. And from all these, everything really, homesteading and small farming. And tell us a little bit more about what you carry here.
Yeah, so one section that we're really working on trying expanding this year is this whole corner, which is all the camping gear. We just didn't really have the room for it, but we've gone through a lot and we're trying to build this up. As far as the homesteading goes, we've been working with a gentleman for the last 2 years trying to get these locally ground and milled feeds going. So we're big on the chicken feed right now. We're working at bringing in cattle and hog very soon. We're just waiting to get the bagging machine. As far as the chickens go, we've got pretty much everything a person needs. We've got all kinds of heating and lighting, from heat light bulbs to carbon fiber heaters, heat panels. We got the food. We got tons of feeders up here, incubators, pretty much everything.
And I'm working on getting some chicks in the store for the spring as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know that I've contacted you guys recently about chicks and heating and feeding and bedding and all these different things, and it was amazing that these guys were like, yep, no problem. The communication is so great, and I so appreciate that. I would message Carol or Ken anytime, and they would get back to me right away. So that you guys also do seed starting. I know I got some seed starting items here, from trays to lighting to heat pads, seeds themselves. So you guys have a lot of stuff. What else do we have? Outdoor. Oh, you guys are bringing in greenhouses as well.
Yeah, so we set up a couple greenhouses at the house, and we're really big believers in them. It's a line called Paulrun that comes out of Israel.
Okay.
So we're in connection with the warehouse. Generally, if somebody wants a greenhouse, they can come in, look at the catalogs. We're going to set one up out on the back patio here probably really soon, in the next month, hopefully.
Oh, that'd be good to see.
So people can actually get a good look at it without having to come out to the farm to see one.
And it gives me somewhere to put all of the starters that I bring in to sell at the store as well. So, because we're a little bit limited on space in here, so we decided to put the greenhouse out in the back. That way people could see what it looked like, see how easy it is to put up. And it gives me somewhere to put the starters so that people can also be able to purchase their starters through us as well.
And the space is the biggest concern in this shop, because a lot of people come in here and they don't really realize how much we actually have. But we've got a warehouse away from here. We've got a couple storage spaces going on. As far as the feeds go, we're basically bagging by hand right now and bringing feeds in every couple days to keep in stock with that. So lots of the chicken feed right now. The chicken feed, for instance, I mean, we're doing 50-pound bags instead of 44-pound bags, and we're selling them for $21.50. This is locally milled grains, very fresh food that is just wonderful for the animals. The cattle and hog will be coming in as soon as we get the bagging machine.
Fantastic. And I'm glad you mentioned space, because when I initially came in here, I'm like, wow, like there's not only a lot of items here for such a small space, but they have more. So I tend to ask you, and then you'll be going out in the back, and it's like, hey, we got this and this and this, and then you would go back in the back and get more items, and it's like, wow, where do you keep this? Yeah. So it's amazing how organized you are and how much you have here that you may not be able to see. So definitely, I would suggest to ask you, say, okay, do you have this or this? And I almost guarantee you guys will, or find a way to get it, which is so amazing. And I really appreciate that personally. Now, you guys started in 2020, so kind of like the start of the pandemic. How touchy subject, I know, but how has it been? Do you found that you've been even maybe more busier now that people are not only working from home but starting seeds, trying to be more maybe self-sufficient? Like, how has your business grew from when you started leasing this place out?
So we leased the space in January of 2020. And none of this stuff wasn't even like a blip on the radar yet. Nobody knew what was coming. When they shut us down in mid-March for the 3 months, we were only 2 weeks away from being able to open the doors. So that was a little difficult. Since we opened the doors in June of 2020, we have, one, strived to make this a happy place. People can come in, they can see what we have. We talk to people all the time about certain things. And yeah, last year and so far this year, things have really evolved into more people wanting to get into gardening, more people wanting to grow their own food, more people wanting to, I call it, grow your own animals. They want the laying chickens, they want the meat birds, they want cattle and sheep and all this other stuff. So some of that has been a bit of a learning curve for us. I was on a farm for about 8 years when I was younger, so I know some of it, but it was definitely a learning curve for us. And it's continued to build since we opened on people wanting to, well, especially the outdoor section. When we first opened in June, that just took off because a lot of people didn't want to be stuck at home anymore, let's say.
Yeah.
And then as last spring came along, a lot of people got interested in growing their own food and knowing where their food came from. So all of that kind of thing was a little bit of a learning curve for us, but I've got lots of tips and little tricks and things for people to grow in big, massive gardens. Right down to, I'll teach you how to grow things in 5-gallon buckets, if that's the only space that you have.
I love that. And what I absolutely love about you guys, you're not only selling the stuff, you're using it. I know talking to Ken a lot and yourselves as well, you're always giving me examples of how you're using it at home and what you're actually practicing in your own space. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I love that. And you have so much experience because of that. You're not just selling an item to sell it, you're selling it because you're truly using it and you love it and you have that experience with that. So that's fantastic.
Well, this is one of the things about this is not just a place where we bring things in to resell. Yeah. Everything that's happening in here is because it's something that we're passionate about, something that we believe in. Yeah. Every once in a while, Carol teases me and tells me I'm a good salesman, but I'm really not. I'm not a big fan of a lot of salesmen because I don't like a lot of the tactics. But it's a little different when you're actually passionate about something that you're trying to show people. So we've got the big TV on the wall. We project a lot of pictures up there that come right from our yard to show people how things are done. And if we don't know something, we say we don't know. We've garnered a lot of knowledge from a lot of people that come in here because there's an unbelievable amount of knowledge in this valley. When it comes to animals and the feeds and stuff, we call Mike at random and he picks up his phone and we throw questions at him, gardening stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that we work really hard at trying to do the right way.
And it shows. Every time I am in here, I feel like you're speaking from experience. And that's important to me. I don't think that you're just, again, trying to sell something. It's really, truly speaking from a place of passion. Yeah. And I love that. And it makes me feel welcome in here. And it makes me feel like there is a lot of knowledge and things that I can learn because I'm just learning how to do all these things. I want chickens for the first time and my garden. I mean, it's very different than growing one on your patio on the West Coast to here where you have some property to be able to do that. So I'm learning. I am very humbled by how little I know about this stuff. So coming here, I feel like I'm always coming out with a lot of education, and I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, well, it's good customers that make it easy. And in reference to Carol's comment about the happy place is the other thing that I say is, this isn't like the shop where you have to take your car and get work done. People come in here and do these things because they want to do them. This isn't a place where you have to come in and have to spend money because it's an absolute necessity. It's because you're trying to do something for yourself to make your life a little bit better and smarter and just be healthy, be good.
I love that. I love that. And so we're in Creston, of course, and I find that a lot of people in Creston are from somewhere else. Why don't you talk about how you ended up in Creston and what you love most about the valley?
Okay, I'll start this one.
You can start the how we ended up here. The what I love most about the valley is going to take me a few minutes to think about. So
for me, the year I was born, my grandfather and grandmother retired here back in 1966. So I was in and out of this valley a lot until going into the late 80s when my father retired here 35 years ago. I came down for a couple years, couldn't really find my place in town, ended up back in Alberta, but knew I always wanted to be here. Yeah. So after Carol and I got together, a property came up and we just kind of jumped in and grabbed it. And even though we weren't here very much, we were here for a couple days every few weeks, maybe if we were lucky for the first handful of years.
We're both still working in Alberta, so it was a little difficult. There was a lot of back and forth, but
yeah, we had the property. My sister moved in so that she could be here for Dad because Dad was getting a little bit older, and she kind of held things together on the property and made sure things were cool. And we slowly made our way down.
Yeah,
that's
until
fantastic.
I could get here for sure. Now, what do I love the most about this valley? Well, I grew up in Ontario, and then I spent 23, almost 24 years in Alberta. So one of the first things is the weather. That is the big one for me, although it's a little cold out today, and there's actually wind chill, which is super weird for this part. I love that we are able to grow just about anything here. Fruit trees and food in the garden. There's things that I've grown here that I wasn't even able to do in Ontario. So that's a big excitement for me. I'm always trying new things in the garden and always having to get him to expand the garden. And then the people, since we came off the farm and opened the doors here in town, just the people, everybody is being so welcoming and everybody is so open to share their tribal knowledge with us that it's made this a whole lot easier to bring in the proper stock and things of that nature. And every single day I learn something new in here of that somebody has tried, or some old thing from way back when that they used to get rid of bugs, for instance, or whatever. So yeah, every single day I learn something new in here. So the people in the community have been very welcoming, and it's been a really nice change from other places that I've lived. So that's probably my top 3 for the valley.
That's fantastic. And for me, same. I mean, the people in the community and how involved everybody is with each other and the support that we get from our community. For me, I've really realized that even before I came, just to kind of keep an eye on that and talk to people and how open everybody is, and it's just, and how helpful, like you mentioned, and it's just been amazing. So I personally love it, and I know that you guys do too. So why don't you guys tell us how the audience can reach you and find you and get to know your little store?
Yeah, so the best way is probably via Facebook. Facebook is something that Carol monitors really closely. I do a couple different Instagram ones. And we've got the websites. The Red Barn Farm website is a little bit of information that we're working at trying to expand on certain things. So Facebook is probably the best way.
Facebook, and I know you have Instagram as well, and you're posting product also on there, which I like to see just to know what you have. But ultimately, it is about coming in here, meeting these two wonderful people, and getting a hands-on tutorial on what you need, and you always need more than
we
you
try.
think. Yes. No, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome, and it helps so much coming from me. A new to everything kind of a person, it really helps. So you guys come on by, visit Ken and Carol here, hit them up on social media. I'm sure they will love to meet you and get to know what your projects are.
Yeah, the phone number is right on the Facebook page.
Fantastic.
So,
And I appreciate you
problem,
guys
phone calls.
spending your time with us, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.